It's happy hour again at the Banter Bar. It may not exactly look like happy hour. Feeling like it's unhappy hour right now because I just realized I thought this was going to be another no sugar, no caffeine soda episode. But there's totally sugar in all this shit. They are all caffeine free, so that's great. I didn't do any history on any of this, so if you want to know what Teddies sodas are, because that's what we're covering today, I apologize. That's what Google is for. I can't know everything. Anyway, I also have one of these, which you may recognize from last week's episode. Al and I forgot to rate this beer, so I am definitely going to use this to help me power through these sodas and answer 6 questions along the way. We'll rate all that fun stuff. So that black beer is unreal. And I'm sad too because I'm not really seeing it in many beer stores. So I have a feeling it's going away. Not a good call, Great Raft. You should definitely keep this one. Let's just do the rating before I fucking forget. Everything I said on the last episode pretty much holds true. It's just fantastic. A lot of chocolate bread notes. And I already know that as I let this sit and get warm, it's going to get better. But I didn't rate it yet. See? Start talking about a good beer and you forget to rate it. So how are you folks out there? I hope well. I'm going to give it an 8. I don't want to go overboard. I feel like I did this to Guinness Drought as well. It's just amazing. It really is. But it's not something you're going to want to drink all the time. You know, it's definitely not flawless. It's not going to be for everyone. It is a dark fucking beer. Anyway, right mood, that could probably be a 10. Wrong mood, you might go all the way down to a 6. Or a 0, if you're like some people. I won't name any names. But you all know who uses the 0 more often than anyone else. My lovely brother-in-law, Teddies. First up is a ginger beer. I don't know if this is just ginger ale. I honestly have never had a ginger beer. So I've seen them everywhere. I know they were popular for a while, but I've never had this sort of drink. And it definitely doesn't look like root beer or anything. It smells like ginger ale. So I'm guessing it's just hyped up ginger ale. Question is, what's something you'd like to tell a cop when pulled over, but probably never will? Ginger beer from Teddies. One of these has 300 calories in the bottle. True for most of these, 280 to 300 calorie range in an entire bottle. It's quite a bit, so if this is really good, maybe it's worth it for you. It's not out of the normal range for soda, though, so. It smelled like ginger ale, by the way, if I didn't clarify that. I happened to see these at Albertsons. It was the only place I could find Diet Pepsi a while back. Or the caffeine-free Diet Pepsi, I should say. Because who knows what the fuck is even going on in COVID world right now. So I wound up in an Albertsons. Actually, I shouldn't give them shit because the store was very well kept. You didn't have to have a member card or any of that to get the discounts. You just went in and bought things. I like the store. It may have just been a while since I've had a sugary drink, but this is syrupy sweet, lightly syrupy sweet. It's heavier than a ginger ale would be. Not quite as carbonated. It is lightly carbonated. I'm enjoying it. I don't know. See, I'm supposed to be rating for taste, but I'm just upset that these have sugar in them. So I want to knock a point off of everything. It's good, though. It's definitely good. So that would be my rating. What would I like to tell a cop when pulled over, but probably never will? Other than to leave me alone and fuck off? I actually wrote an entire song about this when I was doing this really stupid comedy music project with Joseph and Al and my other brother-in-law, Sean. Back when we were all just friends and not somehow married to each other's sisters. But the line that always sticks out in my head from that song is, how much longer do I have to listen to you pee out your mouth? You know, they get going, you just want them to shut up, and you can't tell them that because then you're in deeper shit than you already were. I'm not a cop person, can you tell? I don't know. Authority figures in general, they can rub me the wrong way with ease. You know, people that try to tout their power over you. You will listen to me, I am commander. I hate that shit. Anyway, moving on to the orange and cream Teddies soda. In case the look didn't give it away, it's orange and cream. I need to not pour so much because damn, that's sugary. Question is, what do you fail at more often than anything else in life? Okay. I just have to narrow it down to one. Maybe by the time I've had all of these, I can answer this question. You know the orange creamsicles or dreamsicles, the orange popsicles that have the white filling inside? That's exactly what this smells like. Extremely pleasant. Much better than just your average orange soda. Again, it has a creaminess to it. It gives it depth. Okay. So my taste buds need to calm down because the back of my head is screaming, this is one of the best sodas you've ever tasted. And I still don't think I'm wrong. Wow. Yeah, if you like those orange and cream popsicles, this is the soda for you. It's not overly carbonated, so it's super easy to drink. For a soda, it actually has weight, which I know is the sugar, but still, it's pleasant. It's not overdone. The flavors are perfect. And their bottles even have little standout teddies on them. I keep wanting to say titties, and it's Teddies. I don't know. That's my thing for tits. Fuck. That's not even near perfect. That is flawless. Who saw that coming? I'm not even a giant orange person. I do like those orange ice creams, though. Kind of comes close to some milkier orange sherbets, too. What do I fail at more often than anything else in life? Lord. I would say this is completely personal. It's probably not the real deal. But creating buzz. I try. I understand what goes into marketing, but I just don't have the patience, or I don't care enough to follow through on the marketing end of things. Like, once you've put hundreds of hours into something you love, especially a creative pursuit, the last thing you want to do is get out there and promote the shit out of it. That's why people hire marketing people. I just never did it. Consistently fail. I thought the novel writing most recently was going to be a life changer in some way. And it did change my life for the better. Internally, I feel like a much healthier human being as a result of having done that. But, you know, as far as it going somewhere, no, it hasn't gone anywhere. I don't even know who's read it in its entirety. You know what I mean? Like, that's not a good sign. And that's just me failing to push those things, as I consistently do. Games, books, music, all of it. I just, not good at creating buzz. I'm good at getting buzz. That having been said, me opening up a little too much, I'm going to have some more beer. And it is still extremely good, in spite of just having had a soda that was a 10. Actually, I don't even want to be drinking beer right now. That'd tell you how good this beer actually is. Because, yeah, I got hungover for the first time in a while this last weekend. co-host for Rated Radio, Rayburn, came over with her boyfriend Blue, and we sat around playing table games and drinking till far too late, and I was still hurting from it, and then I emptied an entire pallet of River Rock into the yard. So, I'm not feeling so great, but this beer is worth it. Okay. Next up is the Grape. If you're new here, me and Grape, we go way back. Not Teddies. I've never heard of Teddies until I walked into that store, but one of my favorite things as a kid was to see Grape soda. And I don't know why. Something in my head, it was like a psychic moment, if you will, even though I don't believe in that shit. But I knew it was something rare. There's no massively popular grape soda. Fanta maybe has a grape, but they've got all those other flavors too. And I just always felt like it should be a mainstay. And it smells amazing. Question is, Guitar Hero or Rock Band? Now, this is another one of those questions where I should not be alone answering this question. Most people who know me know exactly where I'm going to land. But I think there's an argument to be had on that topic. You're just not going to get it from me. I don't even know how to explain this one either, other than to say it's reminding me of a popsicle. A great popsicle with some carbonation. It's definitely not Kool-Aid. What it does not have is pickle juice. But I won't hold that against it. You know, you can't win them all. If I'm going to say anything about a grape soda, they all taste like this. You know, I could say this one is almost creamy, but I think that's, again, just because I haven't had sugar sodas in a while. Something about these so far are very soft in nature. A lot of the sodas I'm used to drinking have this harsh carbonation thing that's going on. It's not here. And the body is a little over medium, which the weight really helps with just that smooth going down thing. I'm going to give it an 8. You know, I just got done rambling about how they all taste the same. So calling this one special is ridiculous to a degree, but it deserves it because grape soda is special and people don't give it enough credit. Why do you need Coke and Dr. Pepper that have this billion, you know, it's not a billion. I may have exaggerated that a little bit. 23 flavors, something like that in Dr. Pepper. When you could just have the one, the grape, which I'm sure is also a bunch of flavors as well, not just grape. Guitar Hero or Rock Band? I am a Guitar Hero person. I don't know. Don't like the squares coming at me. I prefer the circles. It's a little more complicated than that, but that is a reason. And we'll just stick with that tonight. Song selection, character creator. I don't know. Just like Guitar Hero. Rock Band, I could never get it to work the way I wanted it to. Never felt like I was hitting notes right, even after, you know, adjusting for the way that I play. I don't know. Both great games, but I mean, who are we kidding? Guitar Hero. You know, they were the innovators. Unless Rock Band, you know, introduced all of the instruments ahead of Guitar Hero. I don't know. Maybe the name appeals more to people. I said I wasn't going to argue for Rock Band. That's for somebody else out there to do. If you want to, go ahead, be my guest. I think mostly it's going to come down to personal experience. If you started out with Rock Band and you had great fun times with that game, that's where you're going to land. I'm a Guitar Hero guy. It is what it is. Beer. Okay, following a grape soda, not quite as good. Still very good. It's also warming up and tasting better somehow. Even though I just said it tasted worse following the... You know what I mean? You don't want to take a bite of cheese and then a bite of cereal. It'd just be very weird. Whew. Next up, blue raspberry. Blue raspberry Teddies. And I poured a bunch of that. I may have to put these in the fridge and give them to someone because I'm not going to drink them in their entirety and they deserve to be had. I might drink this one just because fuck it, I'm already working on diabetes here. Make an argument for or against the mustache. Today actually, I debated shaving off the little amount of mustache that I have, and I did not do it. And I don't know why. But we will talk for or against the mustache momentarily. First up is the blue raspberry. This one smells lighter than the rest of them have. It smells playful. If that makes any sense to your brain whatsoever. It's not an ocean water. There's no coconut. It's a sugar syrup. Sugar and water. And probably has blue food coloring in it. I'm betraying my idiocy here, but I feel like that's just sugar and water. And then they've got some raspberry flavor in here. That's what I feel like this is. Smells balanced. One bottle of this has 26% of your daily carb recommended intake, which is way high. It's about double what you'd be on for a low carbohydrate diet for the first few weeks in one bottle. It smells pretty good. The taste is hollow. So now we're in a cheaper popsicle territory. The long ones that you hold that, you want to just wait on it to melt some so you can suck all the flavored juice out of it and leave a lot of the ice behind. This is primarily the ice. Sugary though. The flavor's slightly there. I wouldn't call it forgettable. And it is good, but I think that's mostly because of the sugar. So I'm going to give it a 5. Whoa. The mustache. I grew up hating the mustache. Hated everything about the mustache. And then I was able to grow one and hated the feeling as well. I know women who complain sometimes about the way the mustache feels during kisses. Some people absolutely love it. And I think the longer the mustache gets, the softer it is, yada yada. But it will sit on the edge of the mouth and everything gets wet and weird and pokey, and I'm not a fan. I've never really been a fan. I do sometimes like the way that it looks. Sometimes. And I know a lot of women like the way that it looks. I don't know. I highly doubt I'm ever going to be that person who just grows the stash. Gets rid of everything else, just a stash. I should do it at some point. Just to get laughed at. But not right now. Maybe in my late 40s or my 50s. Assuming I live that long. It'll be a celebration stash. That's what it is. I know younger people who like it too, so I can't say it's just older people. But do you just get bored of thinking? See, I'm arguing with myself in my head as I'm talking, and that's the problem. You can't make fun of people who like a little bit of hair in places, because I like a little bit of hair in places where it's very common these days for it to be completely shaved off. Someone please explain the bald pussy thing to me. I don't get it. I really don't. It's just something in my head won't stop. It can be nice every now and then, for a session or two, right? But beyond that, it's just the voice in the back of my head going, oh, this is what you looked like before you hit puberty. That's not what you want to be thinking, Maybe that's what it is. Bald pussy needs a mustache when it's eaten because that's the way it feels right. You want to go for a mustache ride because you used to have hair down there and it felt a certain way and you no longer do. And the only way to get that feeling back is for there to be hair on the face of the man that you are with. Against the mustache. Nothing against people who love them, though. That went places. Sorry. Root beer. Okay. Basic. I dig it. Sugar and beer. Throwback to like my early 20s. What did it feel like getting drunk back then? I love that I set the cup there. Like, we could just put this over here. This cup's just gonna... Idiot. Yeah, when I would get drunk in my early 20s, it would always be very sugary things. So, I get drunk real fast. I get sick real fast. And usually I'd pass out. Not great times. Learn how to pace yourself. But more importantly, learn how to drink some high-quality drinks that won't get you messed up too fast. Our question is, what's the best board game? Okay. Smells good. Definitely smells more like a Barks, which is surprising considering this has no caffeine in it. I can see A&W here, though, too. I mean, really, those are your two comparisons. There's someone out there who's obsessed with, like, one of the other types of root beer that you can buy. And I have before. I used to like to buy bottled, no-sugar root beers. When I first started taking seizure medication, I couldn't drink for like 6 months. I couldn't eat carbs. That's what they had me on this very specialty diet. But I'm a social drinker. I like to have something in my hand. And so that bottled root beer really, really worked for me. And I'm blanking on the name. But people know Barks and they know A&W, and there's a very real difference. It's like the difference in Hormel chili and Wolf chili. Like, those are two completely different monsters. And this is giving off vibes for both. So that's a little weird. It's also very bubbly, and the bubbles aren't going away. I don't know what that's about. Okay, so I kind of feel the same way about this that I did about this. The difference is I can tell this is root beer in a big way. It is just very sugary, not as memorable as a lot of other big name root beers. But apart from the bubbly top, there's really not much wrong with it. I would give it a 6. It does somehow fall right in the middle of that Barks A&W thing. Like, you're getting the bite that you get from Barks, but then it mellows out into this vanilla thing on the end. It's quite weird. So if you just want both, can't make up your mind for some reason, drink this. I've had some very good root beers, by the way. And like craft houses and that sort of thing, where they keep them on draft and whatnot. So I might be a little biased against this one. Maybe I'm giving it too much of a hard time, but you still got a 6 for a root beer. I mean, what do you want? It's root beer. Everyone knows what it tastes like. The best board game... That's tough. It didn't ask about a table game, just a game that's played on a tabletop. So it's one of the games played with a board, right? So not just dice, not just cards, not just dominoes, but like the full-on board and everything. Which sucks because my favorite tabletop game is one I made with some of my loved ones. It's a take on Minecraft. It's like a Dungeons and Dragons type Minecraft game it's been dumbed down. You don't have a lot of the conversation from Dungeons and Dragons. Just a lot of kick-ass dice rolling fun. It's called Diecraft. But that would be my favorite. But my actual favorite board game that comes in a box and you open and all that, it's Settlers of Catan. There's something simple and perfect about it. It walks this fine line of what I always wanted Monopoly to be, but it incorporates a lot of other great gaming ideas. It's just all under one umbrella. It's a beautiful game. If you haven't played it, Settlers of Catan, definitely do. That's one of the only ones you need. And finally, strawberries and cream. Strawberries and cream. Yeah. I should be excited about this, but my experience with strawberries and cream things so far has not been great. I don't want to lie to you people. I can smell this from here. Just now realizing, by the way, that I did bring a discard tub. I thought it wasn't here for some reason because I'm by myself. But it is. It is here. And I've still been drinking all of this. Why stop now? Alright. Meant to drink some beer before I went here. Haven't even read the question. I'm already drinking it. Okay. We'll hold off. Question. Why do people still wear watches now that we have cell phones? Okay. So something worth noting about this. We kind of touched on it in the last episode, but my brother-in-law Sean used to argue that Xingu, which is another black beer, that it got better as it warmed, and I do think that's the case. This becomes excellent once it's warmed some. I am almost never going to say that about a beer, but Great Raft's reasonably corrupt black lager. Let that sit on a counter for a little while. You don't want to like room temperature, but just above. Oh my God. Amazing. Okay. See that little palate cleanser. It does help. Get me away from the sugar, bring me back. So I smell cream and fake strawberry. You may not be able to see it. The orange and cream looks creamy. This one doesn't. And I'm not going to lie, this one does give me vibes like this one, as far as weight and sugariness and everything else goes. This one also is kind of fake in the nose and the taste, everything, but it has a powerful flavor. And it is not bad. I like it better than this one, but not by much. I would still call it decent, because I think calling it good just goes a little too far. I mean, again, it is good because sugar, hydration, but... So why do people still wear watches now that we have cell phones? Why do people still own DVDs now that we have Netflix and Prime Video? It's not just for the movies you don't get there, you know. Certain circumstances, your cell phone might run out of batteries, your watch is going to work a long time longer. They make different kinds of watches now. I see people walking around with those Apple Watches that do everything a phone does somehow. That's not for me, but I do like a watch. I like the aesthetic of it. You know, it's fashionable still. Nothing wrong with a good accessory. Even if it's 9 times out of 10, we are looking at a phone to tell us what time it is. I don't know. Nothing wrong with a watch just because we have cell phones. I was going to make a comparison to something else, but my brain went to places it should not have gone, so we're going to leave that alone. I want a little more of this, since I'm already ingesting this sugar stuff, and the last thing I expected sitting down tonight was to give a 10 to a soda. So, rated this higher than I rated my beloved caffeine-free Diet Pepsi. Wow. Yeah, totally didn't see it coming. It is very good. Teddies sodas in general, this I completely understand. And if you're one of the few people out there that are making a grape soda, I completely get that. Some of the rest of this is just a stretch to have different types of sodas on the market. I know that's what soda producers do, but I would try getting a foot in the door with these two products. But again, don't listen to me, because my biggest fail at life is creating buzz around products. So sell your root beer, Teddies. Change your name to Titties and have strippers pour strawberries and cream all over themselves. I don't fucking know. Would our show be better with strippers, do you think? Is that what we're missing? Do you think people would tune in more if I hired strippers? That's really fucking good. If you get an opportunity, you find Teddies somewhere, or even if you just see an orange and cream soda somewhere that actually looks milky in a way, it's going to be hard to avoid the sugar now. I've not had sugary drinks in a very long time. I stopped drinking them when I was 16, 15, somewhere in there. Never looked back. I had a Coke one time at a Eminem concert, but I was just dehydrated. And that's all that was brought to me. So here's a question for the audience. I just want to know, do you like beer or do you hate beer? Are you someone watching this show even though you hate beer? Like, if so, I appreciate that you're here. Take that as a compliment for what I and the team have been able to do. But why? Why do you hate beer? Is it like I've seen memes talking about liquid bread and how off-putting that is to people. Did you just have like a bad basic beer experience in your young days and you can't get over it? It's funny, I used to hate beer. It was not something I looked forward to drinking. I would rather have had wine, even liquor at one point, but once you start trying a bunch of different beers, it just becomes obvious how much variety there is and how many of them actually taste really good. I think there's a reason that is to say that the microbreweries have gotten so big. Meanwhile, something like a Teddies will pop up in the world of soda every 10 years or so and probably be gone within another 10 years for all I know. Fago's still out there doing their thing. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. It's a good beer. I will try to get Al's rating at some point so that we are complete. Let's keep the conversation going in the comments, and we'll hopefully see you next week, same time, same place, for another round of the Banter Bar. Farewell, beer snobs.
I'll just leave you a little sip in case you want to go back.
I appreciate the sip. I think I could drink quite a bit of this.
I just want to see how it feels in my mouth.
I guess we'll see you next time.
On the Banter Bar.
Titties, Teddies. Teddies, titties. Orange and cream titties. Ginger titties. Oh, God. That's a night ender right there. Ginger titties. Yes, please.